What's that sizzle, Bottom Nation? We have Food Network star Tiffani Faison. She's more than a Food Network star. She has 6 huge restaurants in Boston, and we finally get to the bottom of some of those lesbian chef thoughts we've all thought, which is basically, why are they all lesbians? It's a really fun episode. We talk about the best kind of restaurant for date night. Jen is on the episode co-hosting, and she has a raunchy story that is so funny. I know you guys are really going to like this one. And as always, patreon.com/WHGS to support this podcast. We cannot do it without you. Please donate just $1. It really helps. And please also excuse the set in this episode. We are refurbishing this wall because I'm starting a 3rd podcast with Josh Johnson. So we're making our set convertible. So if you've been thinking about donating, now would be a great time because we've got projects going on. We just installed this new server to keep track of all of the archives of incredible episodes that we have to make sure that if we want to redistribute them in some way, we have them. So yeah, now it's just a really great time to donate if you're thinking about it. Have a good week, everybody. Thank you for listening. Listener, this episode is brought to you by Helix, my favorite mattress. I'm getting the best sleep of my life on my Helix, and you can too. And right now, you can get 25% off site-wide and 2 free dream pillows with any mattress purchase. Plus, they have a free bedding bundle. That's 2 dream pillows, a sheet set, and a mattress protector if you order any Luxe or Elite mattress. You can get that sick deal by heading over to helixsleep.com/gaysex. That's helixsleep.com/gaysex for 25% off site-wide, plus a whole lot of goodies. Go, listener. Listener, this episode is brought to you by Dinnerly, my favorite meal kit, okay? And it's my favorite because Dinnerly is the most affordable meal kit I've ever come across, with meals as low as $2.99 per meal. With my code GAY, you can get up to 27 free meals. And with Dinnerly, you can choose from over 100 delicious dishes every week, from steak dinners to oven-roasted salmon, or even your favorite takeout dupes. My favorite recent meal from Dinnerly was their portobello steak. This holiday season, give the gift of affordable food with Dinnerly. Head to dinnerly.com/offer/gay and use code GAY for up to 27 free meals. Once again, that's dinnerly.com/offer/gay for up to 27 free meals. And make sure you use my promo code GAY so they know I sent you. There are a lot of lesbians who are chefs.
I think there are a lot of lesbians who make their way up the chain, right? So like in culinary school, it tends to be like 56% women. And then as this
is amazing.
Yeah. As they work through culinary school and then work through kitchens are not the only way to go, obviously. And we're seeing a lot of like alternative paths. You can learn to cook off of YouTube and then be a personal chef and get on like, the internet and have like 5 million
I love your
followers.
disdain for this. And I have
incredible disdain. I'm trying not to be like the old lady, but like,
no, I love
maybe
it.
I'm like the
I'm
straight white man in the Midwest that's been left behind. Maybe that's the fucking
I'm a massive fan.
This is so. She's been talking about this for so.
I have been.
So fun.
She's
so
the day
excited.
that I don't remember how it happened, but the day that we connected on Instagram,
You should have seen her.
it was.
Oh my god!
I don't remember how it happened. I think there was something, and I like jumped in your DMs, and it was like, oh, this thing. Like you'd said something, and I was like, oh my god, like I forget what it was.
Well, I am like,
She was walking around the apartment like, I'm DMing with Tiffani. I'm DMing with Tiffani.
I am also a fan. I've been hearing that you're hysterical.
oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. I try very, very hard. But I think there's something, as soon as you came in, okay, I think something, we're in the apartment, we're having gay sex with Tiffani Faison, amazing restaurateur. You have 4 restaurants in Boston?
6. Like different, it's fine. They're killing me, but 6.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing 6 times the work of a regular job that would normally kill you.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you build a team that helps you do like the 6 times version of whatever it is. And I've had a great team for a really long time. Like, I've had a lot of the same people for my work husband. We've been together for like 14 years. So which is great. But
that's amazing.
Yeah,
really awesome.
yeah. I'm in like an inflection point in my career, but it's just an interesting time. But
and you're also like, where I know you from and learned about you was everything you've done on Food Network.
Yeah.
Chopped was like my favorite show for probably a decade.
Really? Thank you.
I mean,
thank you for keeping us all employed.
Yeah, I mean, I watched that. I mean, me and my mother, I think it might be the backbone of our relationship.
I hear that.
Watching
Sometimes.
Chopped is a time that me and my mother get along.
I love it. It's kind of weird. People can come together and like not have to talk about anything real in their lives. So we can just talk about like what's weird in the baskets and what people. It's a connector. I get that, which is great.
It's such a great. I know it's not your concept, but the concept and the whole thing is just like so great. And then I was rooting for you on Tournament of Champions.
Thank
you
you.
won.
Finally did it.
Yeah.
Finally had a big win. Yeah.
That one reminds me of poker a little bit, where like you can do your best, but at a certain point, the cards are kind of what they are.
Yeah.
Because winning, if you don't know the show, you know the show because I've made you watch a little bit.
I've seen Tournament of Champions.
But you have to, you cannot lose.
You can't lose.
You have to win
There's
every
no
single
middle.
time.
It's you against, it's one-on-one the entire time. So you have to win every round.
So
all
it's
the way
sort
up.
of like the luck. I can't help but feel that the luck factor, not to take away from anyone who's won, there's definitely like people you see over and over again in the Final Four. But it's sort of like poker in that way where like you just get dealt one bad card and
if you're not in any way prepared or can't deal with that bad card, it is like poker in some ways, right? Like it does happen. Like if the flop is terrible for you, but I don't know. It's also unlike poker in some of those ways. Like I think it really susses out people that have the reps in their career and know how to cook. Like if you are one of those our sweet people on the Food Network that has like learned how to cook on YouTube and not been grinding it out in restaurants for a really long time, you'll get thrown pretty quick, and you see that, right? You end up seeing like who has the chops, and even if it's like an ingredient that you don't necessarily know or have worked with intimately, you can kind of understand how to approach it by how similar it is to something else.
Right.
So it's critical thinking that you have zero time to start,
is it so they give you an ingredient and you have to make a dish around it for Tournament of
it's
Champions?
a wheel, so we call it the randomizer.
Oh, I do remember this one.
Yeah, so it's 5 different things.
Nightmare.
It's protein, produce, equipment, style, and time.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that one, that's a crazy show.
Well, it's Guy Fieri.
Insane.
It's awesome. And
It's insane.
That guy should have an amusement park.
He might. Don't suggest it. I'm sure he's working on it. I'm
And
sure
lesbians
he's working on it.
will be lining around the
What
fucking
is
block.
the thing with lesbians loving Guy Fieri?
Because he is one.
He's
he's got the
he's
vibe.
married like multiple, I think,
multiple gay couples.
Yeah.
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 Well, his
Ally.
sister is queer, isn't she?
His sister died. Yeah. So
Oh.
Morgan died a while ago.
I
She
didn't
died
know
of cancer.
that.
Yeah, and she was queer. So I'll leave that to him to talk about. He selectively talks about it, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's that. And I just feel like his hair.
his
and
hair.
his outfits.
His hair is
He just
like
feels like a dick that goes to Sturgis.
I was gonna say his hair is the collective audience of like an early 90s Melissa Etheridge concert. Like that's it. Like it's all the same. It's exactly that. So yeah.
But the wheel. They spin
The
the wheel,
wheel.
and then you have a
fucking
few
mess.
seconds.
It's a mess. Like,
And
you have
then
a few seconds.
do you get any time to think, or they just the
3
challenge? Okay.
They have to explain like if there's like equipment that we haven't seen before. And
I've always
sometimes
wondered
that's
about that.
brought
Yeah,
in
like
by sponsors. Like a lot. Sometimes it's like Wayfair equipment. Like they're sponsoring it. They'll bring it in. He's gonna do this. I'm sorry.
no, I actually really
Come on,
enjoy
buddy.
it. I love like
so
him needing me a
sweet.
little
He's
bit.
gonna talk to you the whole time.
Hi,
Yeah.
Ernie.
He loves to talk. Hi, buddy. So yeah, there's
Come on
come on, bud.
Come on, Ernie.
Good boy. There's equipment that we haven't seen before. We haven't seen that version of it before.
Right. So they tell you how to use it.
Yeah. So
So
sometimes it's
hopefully
like the
it's-
rinky-dink version of like a more.
He's a
like
cat.
yeah, he's a good boy.
So sweet.
It'll be like like a plastic version of something that we know is like industrial equipment. So it's like, how the fuck does this work? Like, how do I get these suction cups to like stay down while I'm trying to like grind this
Right.
thing out and care nothing about its like survival? It's like it's gonna crack, it's gonna break. Like, how do I avoid that? So
Wow.
Yeah.
So cool.
That's amazing.
it's bananas, and then you just go.
And it feels like Chopped and that show are both really fair.
Yeah,
You try to do everything like in the time limit, and it's actually
the time is the time.
Yeah.
The time never changes, and that's like. The ingredients never change. The wheel never re-rolls unless it's part of the wheel. You see that sometimes it's like the fifth thing will be like re-roll or audience choice or whatever that is.
Right,
and
right.
Then but it's still fair.
Yeah.
The time is the time. I've only ever seen time change in like 2 competitions ever, and it was neither Chops nor Tournament of Champions.
Yeah. Wow.
Ovens fell off the wall in Top Chef.
I was
once,
gonna
and it
say,
was
like,
guys,
maybe something happened.
it was like
and-
the chicken is not gonna make it. Yeah, and I've seen like ovens go into like self cleaning mode, just like equipment gaffes that you can't necessarily like predict or see, or so sometimes you have to like reset the time a little bit. But
here's another question that I have. So I'm jumping into usually. So the way this podcast typically works is we all share a gay sex story, which doesn't have to be gay sex.
Okay.
Heard
it before, but yeah. Go ahead.
Thank you. I have one, but I do have like a couple lesbian chef questions.
I cannot wait.
Why?
Obviously, this is coming.
Comedy and chefing, cooking, restaurant, touring. I don't have the language. I cannot cook.
Being a
Tiffany.
chef,
I cannot. Like
she makes great frozen Trader Joe's
I do
spring
Trader
rolls.
Joe's.
Everyone doesn't need to cook. If you guys can fucking cook, I'm out of a job. So don't worry about cooking. It's fine. People say it to me like they come apologetically, like they
because
can't
there
cook.
is a certain amount of shame.
Why?
It just feels like you're not being a real adult.
Do you feel like if you were a man, not a gay man, if you're a straight white guy and you couldn't cook, you'd feel any sort of fucking shame around this?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Probably today. Maybe 20 or 30 years ago, maybe
today
not.
Specifically,
today
no.
specifically,
Exactly.
no. No, today I am a proud straight white man, and today it's election day, and this will actually be the last episode of We're Having Gay Sex, and we're having straight postmarital sex.
Oh my God. We're having through the sheet sex. Fuck this.
We're having just lay there and get through it sex.
100%.
Oh God.
But yeah, what do you think that is? Like, why so many it feels like, is this real?
It's real.
There are a lot of lesbians who are chefs.
I think there are a lot of lesbians who make their way up the chain, right? So like there are, in culinary school, it tends to be like 56% women. It starts like the students that come in are like pretty significantly like tilted towards women percentage wise. And then as
this is amazing.
Yeah. As they work through culinary school and then work through kitchens are not the only way to go, obviously, and we're seeing a lot of like alternative paths. But the old path used to be culinary school and then into kitchens. Kitchens are brutal, as we know.
Now you can be personal chef, you can do food truck.
You can learn to cook off of YouTube and then be a personal chef and get on like, the internet and have like 5 million
I love your
followers.
disdain for this, and I have
incredible disdain. I'm trying not to be like the old lady, but like
no, I love
maybe
it.
I'm like the
the
straight
old
white man in the Midwest that's been left behind. Maybe that's the anger that I'm fucking feeling right now. Like I'm tapping in. I understand it now.
Well, I get it from a
to say
comedy
it.
perspective.
Yeah.
I do really like the
been
the
grinding it out.
Hamptons.
You're like, fuck you, sit down. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, say that again?
Those like Hamptons girls that are like private chefs and they just like do their little TikTok cooking videos.
A day and then blah, 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 blah. And I'm like watching
Sounds
them.
the
I'm like,
same.
oh, okay. You just like put fucking lemon juice and yogurt with like chives.
Yeah,
and
or
called it
sometimes
good. Like,
they'll make something and you'll read the ingredient list and you're like, there's no seasoning.
nothing. There's nothing.
Yeah.
But like it's like white people cooking for white people. But there's a lot of disdain here because I think there's so much to be said, and same thing, and then we'll answer this question about grinding it out, about the lessons that you learn, getting up, and I'm not speaking for you, but I kind of we're in the same vibe of like working through kitchens that have been notoriously hard for women, being able to like
harder for
women. Yeah, you have to either like assimilate or fight it or do some combination of the fucking both for years, and like being able to kind of grow a backbone and understand the environment that you're standing in. And I will always say this: you have to be in the room to change the room, and the like easy path in the room is never the one that's the most convincing to change it. So. I don't know. There's also just a depth and breadth of like tools that you get. Like there's just shit I know by grinding it out in kitchens forever and ever and ever. The reps matter.
That is a really interesting thought. It's almost like those years. I majored in computer science. And do you know the organization Girls Who Code?
Yeah.
I wrote their curriculum.
Fuck yeah.
So that was
amazing.
like my life before comedy. And we always would talk about Legos and the types of toys that boys would play with growing up that I think it's changing, but the types of toys that boys would play with growing up that girls didn't play with growing up, and sort of two things: the intellectual curiosity that it fosters, like, oh, I have this thing that I don't know how to use, but I know I can learn to use it.
I know I have the skills to figure it out. Exactly.
Yeah. And like the lack of fear of failure that I think girls going into these technology environments, they have not dealt with as much of that type of, not in a fault of their own, but because of society, we have not given them those toys and those challenges as kids. And so it's like, It's just harder when you get to the time where, okay, now you really have to use it or you're going to do worse at your job.
Yeah, it's exactly that. Or not having the reps to figure out like the brain space or the knowing that you have the ability to figure out, you have the tools to kind of understand what the puzzle is and how to approach it. Talking about tournament of champions, like whatever the wheel lands on, like I have to have dealt with something around my career that is, at least is something like this or some combination of it. I know I can get there, right? And that's built through like just cooking for 20 something years. That's not, same thing. Like if you start giving girls the right tools, Legos, whatever it is, like start asking them to like, not asking them to think differently, like introducing it in a way that's like water.
It's fun. Yeah, exactly.
It's
yeah.
part of your life. It's not different. It may be different for us. It can't be different for them. So if you give them like the normality of figuring out the puzzle, then it's not as scary. There's the consequences of like failing aren't as like, they're not as scary or as devastating. They're not as like consequential, frankly.
And I think that's a big part of comedy.
Yeah.
Like when we're young, girls are not, being funny is not something that a girl typically is drawn to do, is encouraged to do, whereas boys, it's like, that's a part of mating.
100%.
You
100%.
have to be fucking funny.
Yeah. Like it's all about being pretty and being, liked in that way and seen in that way. And funny is not part of it.
And then you get on stage, which we call it reps as well.
Yeah.
You get up there and you get punched in the face every fucking day.
Yep.
For 10 years, you get punched in the face.
Yep.
Like the same thing, the girls actually come in, the women come in stronger. If you go to an open mic and you see a woman coming in for the first time, she has fucking notes. She has jokes that she's been working on for a year.
She's thought about it for years. She's not.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the guy getting up for the first time, he thought of this today.
100%.
He walked
100%.
by and was like, I can do that.
He's like, I'm going to have an extra Jack and Coke. I'm going to kill it. Yeah, like, fuck you. But the answer, I think, in some ways, and it's more complex than just this, but to why more lesbians are in our industries, I think there is something about the fuck all of like societal expectations.
Yeah.
Like we've already said, my life's not going to be like yours. I'm good with that. I've made peace with that. So you start to like, I think, pursue things that are harder, that are not expected. And we also know how to kind of work within and still reject male.
We have worked our whole lives
environments,
being the weirdo.
Yeah, totally.
We know how
There's comfort in that.
Right.
Yeah.
We know how to navigate a system that was not built for us.
I don't know how to go into a group of girls and be the pretty girl. Or like the good girlfriend. I'm like fucking real uncomfortable doing that. Like unless it's gay women, then I'm like,
you didn't have to say that out loud.
The idea,
the idea of
giggling like,
I don't know. It's
you know
just
what
like
I
terrifying to
loved about Tournament of Champions that I don't see as much on Chopped. Like, and you came in here, like you're in charge.
I mean, for better or for worse,
you're borderline hosting the podcast.
No.
I mean that in a good way.
You know what? I will say this, not to bring this back to like the previous election, but one of the things Kamala Harris said that was just like, I've never heard it said in this way, was I never walked into a room that I didn't believe I belonged in.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Can you imagine like a Black South Asian woman walking in and feeling that way in every room that she walked into? I don't know. I've always been this way, so there's no point in trying to change it now.
Yeah, I think that's like one of the most amazing things about like lesbian culture.
Yeah, I'm so like, I'm so not. I'm like the one there giggling.
We need you too. We need everyone. It can't just be like us ding dongs like walking around like we got this. It's fun.
Right. It's sort of then you have the toxic masculinity element of the whole thing.
Oh, then there's that.
But Jen's bisexual. Is that what we're going with today?
Going with bisexual today? Sure. Well, what else?
Sometimes you look at pan.
It's the same thing to me.
What's the difference? Okay,
I don't think we really know.
Okay, what is the like? Just nomenclature changes, and we're fine with that.
I think depending who you're talking to, there's a nomenclature change. I also think that bisexual can refer to someone who might be like, no, I am bisexual, is maybe someone who maybe wouldn't date like a non-binary person or like a. You know what I mean? Or they're very, or there's like certain sexualities that they are attracted to or genders that they are attracted to, which might have nothing to do with which genders they are.
Do you think it's that particularly thought out in the bi identity, like an older bi identity maybe, right?
Probably
like
not.
Kids are coming out. I think in my experience, like it came out in like the mid 90s, like bi was just like what I told my mom, so she wasn't completely freaked out, right? It was like, I'm just gonna like baby step out this door for a second. Like,
did you know that doing that?
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, of course. I made out with my entire Girl Scout troop in 4th grade. Like I was like, just biding my time to be able to be like, yeah, this is who I am.
You first have to ease her in with like, I really like cooking, and then you
I did not really like cooking back then. It was problematic. I was a cheerleader though, so she was okay with that.
You didn't grow up cooking?
No.
I just assumed.
No.
Huh.
Didn't go to culinary school. It was never a part of my like.
What was your original path?
Oh God, staying out of jail maybe. I don't know. I thought like being a lawyer at some point, but I fucking hated school, so that was not. I went to school for a couple years and debated my way through what little of school I went to, and then like just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Yeah. So.
Fair.
I do feel like this is another like chef comedy thing. Like you can't. I did well in school, in college in particular. I did very bad in high school. I mean, like I just couldn't.
Wait, where did you go to high school? Where are you from?
Oh, I grew up here. I went to a fancy schmancy high school up on the Upper East Side.
Gotcha. Where'd you go to high school?
Boston, like outside of Boston.
Wait, what?
In Newton.
Okay, all right.
Did you grow up in Boston?
No. I'm
Okay.
like, no.
Where-
Army kid, so everywhere.
Oh,
like
okay.
Oklahoma, Texas, California, Germany. I was everywhere. Yeah. So I ended up in Boston because I went through a breakup and my brother was in grad school. And I was like, I guess I'll come kick it on your couch. Packed 2 duffel bags. And that was a long time ago.
And you liked it there?
No, hated it.
That's the correct
Hated
answer.
it. Hated it, but didn't want to feel like I got beat. I moved from like, do you know what I mean? Like that's the level of fucking shittiness.
You
that I
still
live
hate
in.
it.
No, I don't hate it.
Ernie's like, watch it.
She's
I'm on the
lying.
other side of it where I'm wondering if it's the city for me for the rest of my life. But it's been like 20
This is the
something
inflection
years.
point maybe that you're at?
Yeah, it's kind of where we're at. But when I first got there, I would move from San Francisco. And people were like, oh, Boston's just like San Francisco.
What?
I was like,
Who
fuck
said that?
you. This is not straight men.
That is the most wrong thing I
Straight
cannot
men
think
who
of.
just said there's a lot of bars. It's the same. And I was like, you guys are fucking dumb.
Wow.
People that I bartended with. And that's not why I moved there. My brother, again, was a soft place to land. But yeah, I just refused to like, I knew people were like, oh, it's going to be like 10 minutes before she's back here. And I was like, I will just stay here. So then I started cooking like a little after I moved to Boston, about 6 months after I moved to Boston. Hated cooking, hated Boston. Made a deal with myself that when I didn't hate them both, I would go home. And then I looked up a couple years later and I was like, okay, looks like I have a life here.
Oh my God, hilarious.
Yeah.
Just out of stubbornness, purely like.
Sheer spite. Sheer spite. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. And I love it now in some way. I mean, Boston's given me a life. It's been really, really good to me. It's a tough city if you're not from there.
It's very tough.
Yeah.
I was
Very
there
tough.
for like a year and a half.
I can't even
in
imagine,
college.
like, I never like really lived in Boston. Like a lot of my friends moved there after college and stuff, but they're only friends with people they knew before from college or high school. And like people don't leave their bubbles. And I feel like moving there alone would be really scary.
He's going to be up here and fine. He likes to lay on top of couches. You get bubbles? The trick is to not make friends in those cliques and stay out of them. That's how you survive Boston. That's how Boston becomes a better city for people that aren't from Boston. Just stay away from that like mindset and that shittiness.
Totally.
Listener, are you listening to our Patreon exclusive You're Having Gay Sex? Well, here's a sneak peek of what you missed last week.
This first story, it does contain the F slur. I'm going to point at you, and you're going to say the F slur in lieu of me. So one time with my ex, when we were just hooking up and getting to know each other, I started riding him for the first time. I told him I liked being degraded, and he did a good job of it. But at one point, he goes, yeah, you like that, you little...
Guy!
As I'm laughing while his dick is inside me, he actually comes, and we both...
Great sentence.
There are 4 bonus episodes a month of this series, You're Having Gay Sex, on our Patreon at the $10 tier and then 2 at the $5 tier. Patreon.com/WHGS. Listener, this episode is brought to you by Helix, my absolute favorite mattress that I've ever owned. So much so that when I got a new king-size bed, I gave my queen size to Maddie, and now Maddie is also getting killer sleep on a Helix. We have literally come into this podcast studio and been like, how'd you sleep? And we're both like, really good. The only difference is that I'm banging women on mine. Sorry, Maddie. My Helix has especially helped with my chronic pain because it's customized just for me. I went to helixsleep.com/gaysex. I took their 2-minute mattress quiz, and I got something perfect for my lumbar. And right now, there is 25% off site-wide, plus 2 free dream pillows with any mattress purchase. One more time, that's 25% off site-wide and 2 free dream pillows with any mattress purchase. And then, if you go a step further and you get a Luxe or Elite mattress order, that's going to come with a free bedding bundle. That's 2 dream pillows, a sheet set, and a mattress protector. That's helixsleep.com/gaysex. Run over there, listener, for the best sleep of your life. So what was the day that you started cooking and why?
So random. This is how old I am. It was after September 11th and I was like managing a bar for the Ritz-Carlton. Hated it. It was just like so in over my head. It was like 22. And
Worst year.
I don't know.
Being 22 after 9/11 is rough.
That's crazy.
Being in your 20s sucks full stop. Like
Yes.
people
Yeah.
don't talk about how fucking hard it is.
23 is the worst year of your life.
It's awful.
Horrible.
It's
awful.
so bad.
People
I say it all the time on this podcast.
Yeah.
Because a lot of my listeners are younger.
Yeah.
And I just want to let them know, like, it
Hang
gets
in.
better.
It gets better. It gets better. Hang in, stay the course. Your 20s suck, and I think people expect it to be this like incredibly fun time. It's just fucking messy.
No, 30s, I mean, I
30s
have
way better.
loved my 30s.
Way better. Yeah. 40s
Yeah.
pretty great.
Yeah?
40s are pretty great. Yeah.
I'm hopeful because
Yeah.
last year kind of a sucky year for me, and
How
I'm
old are you?
like, I'm 30. I'm almost 37. I
Okay.
turned 37 in like a week.
Oh, early birthday. Congratulations. Happy birthday.
Oh.
Hang in.
Thanks. Do you think 40s are better?
No,
No.
it's not that. I think they're just really different decades defined by like whatever you choose them to be. For me, 30s was such career building times, like
Yeah.
just opening a restaurant and grinding it out. I was married through the majority of my 30s. And then I think you just come into yourself in a way in your 40s that you're just like, not that I care deeply about what people thought of me, but you do still. Like
Yes,
you
of
say
course.
you don't,
You're
but you
shedding
do.
that your whole life.
You start really fucking shedding it in your 40s and you're like, yeah, right? You just get to a point where like you kind of said you didn't care before, and now it's like, no, I don't fucking care. Like I don't care.
yeah.
Which
That's
is really
nice.
freeing. Yeah. So there's some parts of being in your 40s that are better. Most of it's better. Yeah. You're more economically like settled. And
Yes.
Yeah, you
That's
get
been
to-
something I've enjoyed about my 30s.
Yeah, exactly. That's again, your 20s and early 30s, you're just like scraping. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I would like go into the restaurants for staff meals so I could eat any given day because I was on my days off. I would just like be there at 4 o'clock. I was like, oh, is food going up? Great. like, I was packing like leftover staff meal into like containers and taking it home so I could eat. Like, just tough. Like, yeah, just trying to like grind it out.
Sorry, I cut you off the when you started cooking.
After 9/11, I was a bar manager and hated it. And then I had been bartending in San Francisco and bar managing. And you good? You're still gonna growl? Okay. I applied at this restaurant in Boston, and I don't know why I wanted to be there. I just wanted to like bartend and hang out and just like get to know the city and not have all the responsibilities that I'd had before. And they had hired everyone, and I was like, well, fuck. They gave me like a busser position. I was like, okay. So I took that into a runner. I don't know if you know how restaurants work, but it's pretty like lowly, like, and I had worked in restaurants like growing up as a kid and bartended a ton, but I didn't know anyone in Boston, and you have to know everyone. So I was like,
Hard to go back to being a busser after.
real
like,
hard.
Yeah.
So swallowed all of my pride,
Yeah.
busser runner, and then started as the expo, which is like the liaison between the kitchen and the dining room. You tell people where to send the food. You kind of control the dining room, and you call the game. And really watch the kitchen and watch the professional kitchen for the first time. And it was like a bunch of young guys that had just graduated from like CIA and NECI, these like really like high-end cooking schools. And I don't know that I recognized that at the time, but had asked like, can I learn a station? Can I learn to do this? It just looked like this kind of chaotic sport that was interesting. And was told no a bunch. And it took like a month to enough people quit. It was an opening of a new restaurant and people just quit left and right. So I think as a joke, my chef was like, sure, fine, here you go. I'll never forget. It was like a Tuesday night on the station that was like the hot appetizer station. It was a fucking mess. I didn't know shit about shit. I'd never been to culinary school. Was not didn't like grow up at my mother's knee. I don't have that fucking story. if I hear that story from one more guy in the world, I'm gonna choke them out. Oh, that qualifies you. Okay.
Wait, now I just desperately want a pan to you on every Food Network show when a guy said, I want it, because everyone,
It's less ubiquitous now than it was. For a long, long time. It was like, my grandmother, blah, blah. Now it's like your grandmother's dying. Like, okay, got it. So everyone's dying on Chopped. Everyone is like, dying. Their relatives are dying. They want to do this because their relative is dying.
The sob story works pretty well.
Look, they feel really, it's real though. We vet these people. Like they do have these incredible stories. But like at some point, I think it's just, he doesn't like him either. Hey, you just get to this point where like, why is everyone dying? Why is everyone with like the worst disease anyone's ever had? You're getting barked at.
Well, has there been a Chop contestant who's ever just been like, I just want $1 million?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Well, we only have 10,000 at a time, but yeah, there have been people that have come in. I'm here for everyone's story, and really like meeting people where they're at is really important.
Except for that one.
No, that's real. I love it when people come in and they're like, I've been grinding this out for a really long time. I had this woman that was like, I don't know, a couple years ago, and she's like, I haven't taken care of myself in the last 10 years. I've just been grinding. She's like, I don't have a dentist. I haven't blah, blah. She's like, I'm just going to take care of myself.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, that. What irritates the shit out of me is when people come on and you can tell they don't have like $1 to their name, and they're like, and I'm going to give half of it to charity. Like, actually, half of it is charity because it's taxes, bitch. Right. So start there.
Yes.
And then the other half of that, like, you're giving it to like a charity that's like going to get lost in like, people are like, I'm going to give it to No Kid Hungry. God bless No Kid Hungry. Like, I love it. And I'm not saying don't give your money to charity, but like, you're like 28. You have take care of yourself. You just earn this money. Like, do something nice with it, invest it, save it, pay your bills, do something,
And then
put
you
it in
can
your
give real
business so
money.
you can
Put it
donate
in
50
your
grand
business.
in 10 years.
Yeah.
To No Kid
Exactly.
Hungry.
Let it become meaningful money in your life.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Not that I'm saying I'm not,
No, I hear you. It is like, I don't know.
The amount of money I've been able to like do good with at this point in my life, had I given it all away back then, like had I not like saved and scrapped, like I wouldn't, you don't get to a place where you can be helpful.
Well, shall we? We're probably at least a half an hour and 35. 30. Okay. I wonder if do you have like chef clock? Do you have a clock in your body that lets you know at all times? Yeah, like exactly to the minute.
If I'm cooking. Yeah, if I'm doing other shit, not really.
I have comedy clock.
Do you?
So I can like
Yeah, that
I
makes
have a
sense.
sense of time.
Yeah, that was insane. You're like, we're at this time.
Yeah.
Like, yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
I got
Because
nothing. Especially if I'm doing my like getting ready for something.
Yeah.
Time moves
Jen is
so slow.
Jen is a late person.
I like a late riser, or just late to everything.
Both. All the above.
At least you know who you are.
Yeah.
You know what? As a pretty intense person, being with a late person has actually made my life better.
Say more.
Like,
Never has that been said to me in
have
my
you chilled her out?
entire
Is
life.
that it?
Yeah, she's chilled me out.
Well,
Okay.
I taught her that you can show up to a dinner reservation 10 minutes late and it's not,
There's no
we're not going to
consequences.
die. And
You remember who you're talking to. Like, choose any other example in the world.
like I've learned about being at the airport at a more reasonable time.
Are you an anxious person as well?
she took it way too far though. Now she shows up
Now
like,
I'm
as
walking
they're
onto the
boarding.
plane, they
I'm that
close the
person.
door.
I'm that person.
Yeah.
I'm that person.
I
Unless
have
I'm
it
flying first class
timed
and then I'm
out.
like the first person down. I need a cocktail. I'm gonna soak every penny out of this flight.
But yeah, it really has chilled me the fuck out. I think what it has made
I've
me
gotten better too because
I've pulled you a little bit
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
direction as well. But what it's made me realize is like
Lesbian symbiosis.
yeah,
love
we love each other.
Yeah,
We're doing good. But what it's made me realize is so many of the things I have worried about are like non-issues. I've had exposure
except for the
therapy.
restaurant thing. You should always be on time to
Thank
reservation.
you so much.
I've
And
always
welcome back.
said
And
that.
welcome back. Be early if possible. No, I think that's right. I've actually have not been an anxious person. As I get older, I get more anxiety around things. Like
I was just talking about this.
Yeah.
Who was I talking about this to?
Well, you were also talking about how people's like quirks get really like bigger and more magnified as
they age.
Like if
If
you're
you
a little
don't-
anxious when
if
you're
you
young,
don't
it's
do
gonna,
anything about it.
Yeah.
if you don't check in and kind of try and manage those things.
Yeah.
Some of them are endearing, but like I've
Yeah.
noticed, I don't talk about this a lot in therapy. But like a lot of it is just like being responsible for me and myself and a company. And it's like there's no, it's like this is it. Like I'm the last check on everything. So
Yeah.
that
Well, your
starts to
company
feel-
is way bigger than my company.
For now.
No, forever. Like, you know, a podcasting studio and editing and stuff like that. Like, it never needs to be that big. But the amount of Alex, keep it together. The amount of pride that I have of employing people, like,
it's real.
It's embarrassing almost because
Alex is sobbing, guys.
Like,
I'm gonna get him some tissues.
Like Joy. The past year has been tumultuous for me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna come back from it. Like I survived, more than survived. I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Before I was doing like cuckoo bananas, and I don't know how Alex is gonna be happy about this, but right before everything happened, I was like, everyone's getting raises, and the shame that I felt when I wasn't able to do that. You know,
it's hard.
Like
it's really hard.
You do really feel like these are your family.
Yeah.
Because even though they might not feel it back, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you
it's
spend
sort of
so much time with them.
You spend a lot of time with them and you
put a lot of your heart in them.
Yeah. You believe
this-
in them and you believe in your team and you want to create an environment where everyone succeeds.
Yeah, which is tough. It's really tough. And there's other things to talk about.
Look
another
at
time
us
offline.
powerful lesbians.
I know. It's actually really nice to have this conversation. This also
there are not a lot of powerful lesbians.
There are more than I think we know. There aren't a lot that are like in the public eye.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people kind of stay out of it in order to retain a modicum of like societally accepted power and like function without being targets.
Well, I'll keep mine super quick because I can't remember if I've told this story on the pod before, but I used to date a girl a long time ago who loved cooking.
Okay.
And she was quite good. She really was a good cook. I'm sorry, Jenny.
I gotta get
your
gotta
shit
help
together.
me.
Let's go.
It was not a redeeming quality for the rest of the problems in the relationship.
The meals didn't fix the other shit.
Yeah. But there
No
was
one's
this
that good of a cook.
really funny, the thing that I could cook that she really liked, that she wanted to learn how to do,
What is this?
is that I could make the Trader Joe's frozen dumplings. I made them double crispy.
Oh, how'd
So-
you do it? How'd you do it?
So you fill up the pan with the water to go and steam them,
Yeah.
and you put them on the bottom, and you get the bottom crispy, and then you only use a little bit of water. I cannot believe that I'm explaining.
I love this so much. Go ahead.
You get the pan super hot so that they don't soak in the water and it
Yep.
just steams.
Yep.
Before I do that, I flip them onto the other side.
Oh,
Two
shit.
crispy
Double
sides.
crispy.
Look at that.
And then
Double
if
crispy
anything
dumpling.
goes wrong, one of the sides remains crispy.
No
even
matter what.
No matter what.
Safety.
Yes. So
It's brilliant.
yes. So I taught her how to do this, and she was like,
And then she left you.
That's all she needed.
Thanks, I'm good.
She was like, I knew I was gonna get the double crispy recipe.
6 years worth every minute.
She kept coming around the corner in the kitchen like, go away. I got this.
Right? Yeah, it's crispy time. Put the blindfold back on. I told her it was like a sex thing. I'm gonna feed you.
Exactly,
It's not.
exactly.
You need to
Put the
protect the
blindfold
recipe. But she always got freaked out when the water went in the pan.
Really?
Yeah, she freaked her out a little bit.
Why? Because it was like spattery?
Because it,
Okay,
you
got
know?
it, yeah.
So, but you have to put the top on really fast. She was making it one day.
You're not writing this down.
That was perfect. I am thinking through the technique though. Don't
So
worry.
she's making it one day. She's finally doing it. We're having double crispy. It's in Boston, by the way. We're living in Brighton.
Oh, okay.
Right on the border of Brookline.
What a shitty neighborhood.
Brutal.
Sorry.
So rough.
By Coolidge Corner.
Sucks.
Okay.
Yeah.
We used to go to Coolidge Corner to get frozen yogurt, but that's really all they have.
I wonder if we were getting frozen yogurt there at the same time.
Same.
Jen.
You guys could have your paths.
I would've
Sliding
been-
doors. Sliding doors.
We
in
have a
the
little bit of an
front.
age gap. We're
Phases in
8
life.
years apart.
Yeah, there you go.
But she pours the water on. She does not throw the top on soon enough. There's too much oil in the pan. It spills into the burner. She screams, and when I tell you that in my tall ceiling high ceilings, the flames hit the fucking ceiling.
Shut up. Seriously?
Yes, they hit the ceiling. I
No
don't know.
fire alarm went off, no anything.
No, the fire
smoke
alarm is going off.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
And the cabinet is smoking.
oh, come on.
So now here's where I think
that's when she left you.
no, she is useless. Now I think this is another part of being in the kitchen. She can really cook.
Yeah.
But like there's something about fight or flight.
Oh, yeah.
So,
for sure.
So I was like, I gave her a list of instructions. I was like, knock on the neighbor's door, let him know everything is fine. Pull the batteries out of the smoke alarm. Open all.
Oh my God, Smokey the Bear was like, this is what we do.
Yeah. I was like, open all of the windows. Put the cats in the carriers if it's necessary.
my God,
I mean, like,
you were ready to go.
I have a fucking list. She's holding a cup of water in her hands from pouring the water into the.
No.
Yeah.
All she manages to do, she doesn't know what to do with the cup. She throws it on the ground.
She broke.
She just threw.
Did it break?
Yes, she threw
this
the
is
cup.
literal
on the,
insult to fucking injure it.
she's so like non-functioning because of the flames. That
Wow, you learned a lot about her in that moment.
I learned a lot. No fight or flight.
No fight or flight.
So
She was fighting.
I don't. That's a very
Not
generous
sure who.
stretch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I ran into the hallway. I'm expecting she's doing all these things. She's not. I run into the hallway. I grab the fire extinguisher.
Glass on the bottom of your feet.
Yeah,
from the
I'm
cup. Yeah.
bleeding. It's never been used. I rip the plastic tie off with the adrenaline from my hand.
Oh my
I
God.
put out the fire, and then everything's fine.
Wait, you had to use a fire extinguisher in your house?
I don't know if I had to use it, but that's a choice that I made.
You used it.
I used it.
I've never used one of those things in all of my days.
Yeah. So, we later broke up, but that is the extent of my that's like my worst cooking story.
Wait, so I have questions about why you broke up. So, and how long it took after that to break
not
up?
long,
Okay,
not long.
Gotcha.
But we just weren't. I don't know if that's reflective that we weren't like a match. We just weren't. I don't know why we dated for so long.
How old were you?
I was 22 when I met her.
That's it. That's a lot of it. In your 20s, I think you hold on to people longer than you should.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's like, I don't know. I think had I been in a situation like that, I think there are people who can function when there's like emergencies that happen. I don't know if I could be with someone who couldn't function. Like, I can't be responsible for saving both of us.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have a partner in this. You're not going to know what to do. This is like reflective of like any other tragedy or something that will befall us.
Well,
Especially if you want to have like kids or something. What are you gonna do if something happens and then your wife throws a cup on the ground in the middle
Or
of
the
it?
kid.
or the kid. Or you can have children that are also non-starters. Like, you just like created children that are
Little pieces of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't do anything.
Can't do anything.
Don't you feel like, I don't know, I imagine you would need to be with someone extremely independent. One of the, I think the benefit, Jen and I were both really independent people, you know? And I think that benefits us a lot for the lifestyles that we have, you know?
Yeah.
And what do you do for work?
Acting, and I have like a day job.
Gotcha.
She's on SVU this week.
Oh, are you?
Big part.
Fuck yeah!
Tomorrow.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you,
We'll
thank
watch.
you.
We're very
Tuning in. That's fucking cool.
Very
Congratulations.
excited
Thank
about
you.
it. They
Yeah,
gave
I'm
her
excited.
extra scenes because she did so good.
Hell yes.
They wrote her more.
Don't laugh. That's how you grind.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how you get
No,
it.
I know. She
Just a few people.
she's so humble, but the amount of work that I have never seen another actor just always be working.
Yeah.
Because it's hard.
It's
with
hard.
acting, it's extremely hard to create opportunities.
Yep.
And I'm
But that's how you do it. Is you
insanely
like
proud
get
of her.
in, you do really well, you get a little bit more. You know this. Like
Yeah.
it's not. It's a game of inches. It's not a
Yeah,
game of
it's a
yards.
grind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People really do think it's gonna just be one thing though. So that's I think what discourages a lot of people. And they just drop. Like especially when I started in Boston and those people were like they'd not get one role and they'd be like "Ugh," and then kind of dip. And I
Let
was
them
like,
dip. That's like less
Yeah.
competition
Well,
for you.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, in entertainment, I think it is a war of attrition, truly.
100%.
You just
Yeah.
have to stay in it.
You have to stay in it. You have to be committed to it.
Yeah.
For sure.
yeah, I don't care about anything else, so I'll be in it.
There you
riding
go.
It till
And I think you need
die.
that too. It's
Yeah.
just that is your calling. That's
Yeah,
it. That's
there's
your
no
thing.
plan
There's
B.
no other thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's really just my gay sex from this week. Listener, this podcast is sponsored by Dinnerly. Dinnerly is the most affordable meal kit I've ever come across, with meals as low as $2.99 per meal. And you know I'm such a bad cook, which is why I love Dinnerly, because I can make a great meal easy, and even my girlfriend loves it. She was like, "Did you order this in?" And I was like, "No, it's Dinnerly." And right now with my code GAY, you can get up to 27 free meals. My favorite recent meal from Dinnerly was their portobello steak. Oh my God, the protein while I'm a vegetarian, amazing and delicious. And with Dinnerly, you're not locked in long term. Dinnerly's flexible subscription allows you to edit, pause, or cancel your boxes anytime. This holiday season, give the gift of great affordable food with Dinnerly. Head to dinnerly.com/offer/gay and use code GAY for up to 27 free meals. Once again, that's dinnerly.com/offer/gay for up to 27 free meals. And make sure to use my promo code GAY so they know I sent you. Listener, weight loss can be a tricky thing to talk about, let alone find solutions that feel positive and holistic. And that's why I wanted to talk about hers. Their holistic program gives you access to personalized solutions like GLP-1 weekly injections that have the same active ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy, and oral medication kits. Hers connects you with a medical provider who will create a personalized treatment plan tailored to your needs. If prescribed, you'll get the medication as a part of a doctor-developed weight loss program, including ongoing care and online support at no additional cost. So if you've been struggling with your weight loss journey, it's time to find the best option that works for you with hers. Start your free online visit today at forhers.com/gay. That's forhers.com/gay for your personalized weight loss treatment options. That's forhers.com/gay. Hers weight loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded. Well, I'll ask you, did you have gay sex this week?
Yes.
Hell
My
yeah.
girlfriend was with me here, so yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Of course I had gay sex.
Nice.
I don't know if you have a story that like jumps out, but I also had questions that like,
Rip some questions, and then if I have a story,
yeah.
I'll tell you.
What do you think goes into, like, you run restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
In a weird way, you want to get people lubed up for when
Yeah.
they go home.
100%. Yeah, you
know?
want your restaurants to be sexy and to be an environment where people like can relax and enjoy themselves and ultimately each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think is like the ingredient for a great date night spot, you know,
Mhm.
to like inject some magic?
I mean, first of all, is lighting. Lighting. You
That's what I was gonna
You
say.
can't go into a place that has like interrogation lighting and everyone feel good about themselves. That's it. Like you just can't. You know, when you walk into a room, like a restaurant, and like, the fuck is this?
My
Like,
mom has asked restaurants, she'll be like, turn the lighting down.
Yeah, I'm getting old too, and I have to like pull out my fucking reading glasses and do all kinds of shit and like get the candle close to like
Jen
whatever.
likes it a few, what's lumens darker than I do.
I hear
Yeah.
you. It happens as you get older that you wish that it was like a little.
No, my mom wants it like pitch black in there.
Oh, your mom wants it pitch black.
Yeah.
Oh, she probably is like perfect. Well, and she's getting some. How's your mom doing? Did your mom Did your mom have gay sex this week?
Who knows, really?
That's interesting. How old's your mom?
She's like 62.
Get it, mom.
Yeah.
Okay, so she likes eating in the dark.
Yeah, she does.
Her parents
That's so many
love
questions.
eating out. Love.
Don't talk about my parents like that.
I was just gonna let it breathe. Thank you, Jen, for jumping in. Thanks for jumping in. So with that kind of lighting, they probably do.
Yeah.
Do you ever make a meal and you're like, this is a fuck dish?
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
What's a fuck dish?
For me, it's not
Because
like
you hear it on Food Network, you hear people like, this is sexy. And
I
I'm
hate
like,
the word food porn. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Yeah, I don't like that
I don't
either.
like it. Because it's usually like fucking bros that are like food porn. I'm like, oh god.
It's usually like an egg yolk bursting.
Or some oozy,
Yeah.
fucking
right.
jizz
No
version
cum.
of food.
No
Yeah.
cum.
It for me, a fuck dish is like getting everything like perfectly right? Like texture, balance of acid, like everything's cooked perfectly. It's not too much. It's not, you know what I mean? Like when you just figure out the fucking jigsaw puzzle and like very quickly, it's like, like you know it when it happens.
You don't think that there are ingredients that like,
No, I'm
No.
not that person. And people are like oysters and blah blah. Because I
Yeah.
think people differ so much, right?
Yeah.
I think there's things you like. I don't want to eat like a pound of mashed potatoes and then go get it on. Like there's stuff that's like lighter.
well, I was
food
going to
for
say,
sure,
okay,
but-
lighter. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, when I love a dish so much,
Your voice cracked. When I love a dish.
okay, let's be clear. Sometimes I love a dish. But when I love a dish so much, I want to eat all of it.
Yeah.
We tend to have sex before the date.
Yeah.
That's
not,
the move.
Not
First of all, have
late
sex
night.
before you go out.
Okay, I think this is the topic.
This is the topic. Have sex
Yeah.
before you go out. So, listen, I also, once I get home, I'm usually pretty tired or just want to like hang out or like, it's,
I want to enjoy the food.
I want to enjoy the food, but I love afternoon sex. First of all, I love like daytime sex and afternoon sex. So like, I think
Correct.
it doesn't get enough
Yeah.
play.
We're all on the same page here.
100%. I think there's also like a little extra connection that you feel when you're at dinner and you've already like
Yes.
fucked and you can enjoy each other a little bit more. And there's not like any sort of thought about like it could happen later too, for sure. But I think like, it's a little spicier when
Yeah.
you do it before dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have that connection and then there's no pressure. For some reason, I feel a weird pressure sometimes.
After dinner?
Yeah.
Is it the food in your belly? That's the pressure?
It's
No,
the
I get it.
gas,
I
baby.
get it.
The bloating.
Well, I think that sometimes there's like set up for disappointment if it's like you. There's also something really sexy about just having an extended evening in a restaurant that like goes a little bit later and it's like longer than you thought and you had another glass of wine or a cocktail more than you thought you would and it's flirty and it's stumbly and like all of a sudden like now it's 1 o'clock in the morning and I have to get up for work in the morning. So yeah, there's like
Exactly.
there's real life that gets in the way of
Right.
stuff that can be fixed by just fucking before
And
you go to
the
the restaurant.
level, the intimacy, there are so many ways to create intimacy, and that intimacy on the date matters as much, if not more, than the actual sex.
Correct. I think like, yeah, there's both ways are like, vehicles to build intimacy and to build a bond with someone.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, the one tumbling into the other is really helpful no matter how you do it. But yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's how I feel with it. We do this thing where we did it just this week. We'll go to 2 restaurants.
In a night.
We'll have 2 dinners.
Yeah.
I love that.
Like
When I was a cook, I was a young cook, we used to do that. We used to like go to like 5 dinners a night. Well, 2 we call bang bang. No, not even kidding.
wait, what?
Like when I go to a city that I haven't been to and I want to like try a bunch of restaurants, I'll do like 5 in a night.
Wow.
How do you do it? Do you just get really full?
Boot and rally. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. Yeah. You either take like little bites of everything or at some point, like you get to like restaurant 3 and you're like, I'm not going to make it. And I have to keep going. Yeah. Sometimes
Oh
boot and
my
rally.
God.
You think it's all glamorous. It's not, kids. It's not.
Well, what we'll do is if we like, last night it was for a different reason, but the first time we
Oh,
did
did
it.
you just leave me? Cool.
I love you.
We'll usually do it because we'll have dinner and then like a dessert elsewhere.
Oh,
Yeah,
Or like
that's
just like a
because we
little
like the
change,
change in
some
location.
scenery.
Yeah. I like that.
But we had just bad dinner the other night and we are like, let's retry this.
We
Where
went to
was
this
it?
place that had, we'll cut this because I don't want to screw anyone over. We went to this Thai place called,
Okay.
and it had very good reviews. We're vegetarian.
Okay.
So it's possible that the meat is quite good and the meat dishes are quite good.
No, there's no Thai restaurant that shouldn't be able to rock vegetarian dishes.
That's-
Like
see,
half
that's-
of Thailand is fucking vegetarian.
Yeah.
Yeah,
agreed.
that's
Yeah.
what we thought. We just thought
When
it
people
was.
say like I feel like I ordered wrong, I'm always like, fuck that. That can't be a thing. That can't be a thing. A restaurant
Yeah.
cannot be so inept that you can order wrong. Like that's our ability to
I
blame it
love
on
you.
ourselves.
That's such a
Absolutely
good
not.
point.
Yeah, you can't suck like
Why
that.
on the menu if it's
Yeah.
bad?
If I pick 3 things that suck, why are they on the fucking menu in
Yeah.
the first place?
Yeah.
Exactly. Pull them.
Mhm.
Make something better. That's
I
all.
love that.
So
Yeah.
true.
Don't blame it on yourself. Blame it on the restaurant. Don't go back.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've been hard on myself my whole life.
Don't be.
Because I'm always trying to order right.
Yeah. Well,
You know?
the idea of ordering right is a misnomer. I think it's fucked.
Yeah.
You should not. You should be able to fall into anything and be like, okay, even if like this is not for me, I get where they're going and this is excellent. Or like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
We just found it to be like underwhelming, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For all the
All the hype.
the
Yeah.
hype.
There's a lot of, I will say this, like the internet is killing restaurants right now. It's just killing restaurants. Like there was a time that you could open a restaurant, great service, great food, great ambiance, great cocktail menu, all the things, and do right by people and do really well. And now it's like what influencer stumbles into your restaurant and what makes it on TikTok and what makes it on Instagram. And
Comedy's the
I
same.
am,
It's going through exactly the same.
exactly. I'm so fucking underwhelmed by some of the restaurants that I go to that are like, you can't beat your way in the door. And it's like, there's no there. Like the emperor has no clothes. What is this?
Yeah.
It's like when someone blows up for like 1 or 2 jokes, but like how long is their set? And you're like,
Yeah.
am I really sitting for all of this?
Yeah.
Like gimmicks. Not a fan of gimmicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's almost like you have to do both now. This is what I say. Like,
We have to do
I
both
have
too.
to do. I'm doing the gimmick.
Yeah.
I'm putting out what I know goes viral.
100%.
I get the flack. Is this all you do?
Yep.
No, it's
No.
not all I do.
Yeah.
Come to the show.
Yeah.
But like, I have to be able to do both.
We're in the same spot, and it's just like I'm not a content creator. Like even like my manager or my agent's like, I need you doing this stuff, and it's like I fucking can't. Like I'm busy. and
Yeah,
this is- I'm also just at, like there's a part of me that's like I just don't want to. Like, I would like this part of my life. Not that I'm not happy to be open. I'm pretty out about every fucking thing, but like, I just don't want to.
It does.
I don't
Opening
want to.
yourself up on the internet definitely feels like, it's tough.
And then where does it end? It's like when it becomes this much of your job, you know better than I do, obviously, or anyone. Like, then like you have to feed the hungry internet, and it's just more and more and more. And so, like, at what point does this just consume what you did versus what you wanted to do? Buddy, come here.
Have you ever, wait, I know this is off topic, but have you ever?
I just sound like a cranky old lesbian right now.
No, you don't. I'm glad. I'm a cranky old lesbian. That's sort of the conceit of the show.
Yeah.
Is like you have a young, hopeful youth.
Oh.
She's not here today because you're my young, hopeful
You're a
youth.
young, hopeful youth, yeah.
But
I believe the children are the
and
future.
then me, the angry millennial lesbian.
Be right here with you.
But like, have you ever? What's the most romantic restaurant? Like, have you been to a restaurant where you were like? I have had one restaurant where I was like, oh, I'm gonna bang after this. It was not with you.
Wow.
Sick. I'm so happy
So
for
happy
you.
for you. So
That's
happy for what
awesome.
that was. Have you taken her
I
to
hope
that
it was
restaurant?
delicious.
I wanted to, but it closed during COVID.
Oh,
Was it Nick's?
Convenient
We've been in Nick's.
excuses.
Nick's got me pretty close to that place. Nick's, the vegetarian restaurant that closed.
Oh.
I really liked that place.
Oh, God, that sucked. Have I been? Yes, there are. Yes, a lot of restaurants, and I think a lot of it is about tone and tenor of service and environment, and just don't fuck up the food. For you know what I mean? For like romantic restaurants, people be like, "What's the most romantic?" Blah blah blah. I think people really think environment and service more than they think food. Right? The
Yeah.
food is in a don't fuck it up situation. Everything else is in the like take the lead situation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so trying to think of like really romantic.
Well, I was just
restaurants
thinking
that-
for you personally.
yeah. I mean, it's hard for me to fully I have to be with, like, I either have to be like a cocktail in by the time I sit down or with someone that I went my first date with my current girlfriend. I can barely remember the food. I was like on another planet. Yeah. Like it was a restaurant I've been to before, but like it was like the whole restaurant was blurry, and I'm never like that. Like I'm always like, this thing that's dirty behind there, and this is blah, blah, blah.
What took you there?
We were going to go somewhere else and they were closed. And so we just walked around the corner and we ended up going to another restaurant. But yeah,
And you were just so high on love.
I mean, it was like a not blindish date, but blind day. I walked in, I was like, oh shit. Okay.
Can
Yeah.
you imagine me being so into someone that we would go to a comedy show and I wouldn't care about the comedy?
It's that level of, yeah.
No.
That's it. Yeah. It was insane.
That's so nice.
That's
it was
really
so
sweet.
great.
I guess part of it when you're thinking about that kind of date is like, you want to amplify the date.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to make them feel like I could stay here and talk for you forever.
Yeah.
And you're getting that feeling. The restaurant makes you feel like you could stay there
creates an
forever.
environment where you can stay there forever. I think
Yeah.
it's a harder question for me because people know they're going on a date with a chef. So like
The pressure.
Yeah.
not just that, but also
Oh,
like
can you pick the place?
exactly always. And what do you think of this? What do you think of that? I've had a lot of like just people are like evaluating the restaurant on the date and like, can we be done with this?
Yeah.
Like, this is really
Work.
not why we're here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you really want my thoughts on this restaurant? Great. So that is definitely not sexy or not romantic. So
Yeah.
if you're trying to date a chef, don't have them evaluate the restaurant while you're sitting in there.
Hard not to.
Yeah.
I would fall into that trap for sure.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
if
would
someone's
too.
trying to date you, they would take you to a comedy show and be like, how do
Yeah,
you think
that
this?
would be
You would
totally
be like,
insane.
this sucks. Why are we
That
doing
would be
this?
totally insane.
Yeah, and also like, is
That
this
would
about
be
me at all? Like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing. I think we got a lot in there. Do you have time to
Yeah.
go to Jen? But Jen has a really funny story.
Get me.
I don't know if it's really funny, but Ashley's wanted me to tell this one
I'm here for this.
on the pod for a while. Oh, this is a tough one.
That's the look. That's when you know it's gonna be good. When it's
Yeah.
like, oh, am I doing this?
It's so good.
This was a minute ago. It's not gay sex, but it's related because I was sleeping with a guy. First time I'd slept with him. We went on a date.
But
and
you had been dating women.
I had been dating women before, and I
you don't
told
have to
him that.
qualify it. It's fine.
No, I think it's
It's
important for the
for-
story.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'd been dating women, and I like told him that, and then, and he was like, "Oh, okay," and like I could see him like recalibrating
Yeah.
his brain to
Yeah.
like to understand that, and
Can you tell us about the guy a little bit?
he was
Just
such
to
a
set the scene.
he was such a dud. He had like a little mullet And he was like he had a clothing brand he was really into, not successful.
Here's my surprise face.
Yeah.
What do you mean it wasn't successful?
Yeah, and then I chose to sleep with him anyway because
it happens. It happens. Don't judge yourself for that shit. It happens.
And yeah, so he came back to my apartment. And like he had asked like a lot of questions about the dating women thing. Like I could tell it was really on his mind.
It's gotta suck for you guys both ways. Like when you're bi, just like dealing with the women's bullshit and then dealing with the like guys bullshit.
I mean, women are way better.
I'm also like one of those lesbians. Like I will die on the bisexual hill. Like I hate the lesbians that are mean to bisexuals.
I do too. And the lesbians like
fuck them
100%. And the TERFs get gone.
Yeah,
people get to be who they are. Be queer.
Yes.
I don't fucking care.
Yes.
Yeah.
If they leave you because you suck. It's not because like you're
because they fell for the guy with the mullet with the
exactly.
clothing brand. It's not about
actually
him.
if you're getting left for the guy with the mullet, you need to internally
reflect on
evaluate.
that.
Yeah, call your therapist immediately and dump some of your friends.
What were
if your friends like that Guy Fieri and your girl just left you.
What was he asking you?
Oh God, I don't remember, but like asking if I had like seriously dated a woman or like, you know, because he's like, because he's like, okay, is it like just like the porn or is it like,
it's like porn, the incredible lesbian porn that's out there.
Yeah.
That we all watch.
Gorgeous.
Okay, yeah.
Did he ask you what type of lesbians you dated?
Yeah, I think he did. Because he wanted to know if it was
or
like,
women, I guess.
Yeah.
I said lesbians.
No, he was like, are they like, you look like me or like girl? Just like stupid questions.
But this is like, these are what they ask, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's pretty common.
I think some of them know not to ask.
I genuinely don't mind people asking questions if they're like kind and like genuinely curious about it.
Agreed.
But the way he was asking was not
It's
that.
self-serving,
Yeah,
right? It's like he's poking around for him, not you.
Yes, totally. Yeah. Like it was not out of genuine curiosity.
Pun intended. Go
ahead. And
sorry.
Nice.
No, you're good. You're actually very funny. I you never know what you're gonna get when you interview someone who's not in the comedy space. Yeah. Honestly, sometimes when you interview people in the comedy space, they're still fun. like they're great comics, but they're not necessarily great conversationalists.
I got that. Yeah.
So no, it's very refreshing.
Thank you.
That's
a compliment. Okay, so
you could have a podcast if you wanted.
Again, more of my time, but yeah.
So we went back to he knows what's coming.
This is not whatever. Like it's not your shame. You know that, right? Like I'm not here to be your therapist.
But
like,
here we are.
Okay.
And so we went back and we started having sex, and it was pretty bad.
I heard mullet and clothing company.
Yeah, like that's kind of that's kind of on me. I'll take credit for that one. But yeah, it was not good, and oh my God, I like actually don't know how I'm gonna be able to like muscle this sentence out.
But you got it.
He in the middle he said, I need to like look away from the camera. He said, "Did you miss this dick?" And it was also the
Tiffani's face. Tiffani's face.
It was the first time we had hooked up. I was like, I don't know it.
So even from a grammatical standpoint, this probably wasn't
so it's also
the word.
not a writer.
No.
Got that.
No.
Oh my God. Did you miss this specific dick that I've never had before?
This one, I've never seen him. And also I knew he only asked because I had said I had been sleeping with women.
Yeah.
And it came out of his mouth and I was so taken aback. I went, and I laughed in his face, and then he knew he fucked up.
Good.
And then it ended really awkward.
What are we trying to protect at that point? I'm really glad he laughed.
Was he able to finish?
Obviously. Look at me.
There she is. She's back. There we go.
Thank you. No, I really don't think that's.
He was into it. You degraded him, and he came immediately.
Yeah, exactly. Now we learned what the real kink is.
He was fishing for that the whole time.
He's only dated bi girls from now on.
Oh God, yeah, that was disgusted me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But then to like laugh in a man's face was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like a little bit like, okay.
Yeah, bring that shit back home.
Yeah, that's just, you
Not
should know
like
not to
every
say
man,
that.
but like you said that thing. It's not about like not all men, but like, you know.
No,
you
no
said,
one's
did
ever.
you miss this dick, yours that I've never had before? definitely not. Yours is a representation of every bro that feels this way. Still no. Like, fuck you.
Still
no.
Oh,
Thank you
God.
for sharing, Jenny. I know. I
I'm
begged her.
queasy.
That was not yours to feel any kind of way about.
Yeah, but
like,
I did still hook up with a guy with a mullet, and that's on me.
listen, the mullet it's back. It's a thing.
It is.
fucking,
It is.
You know,
There are
wolf
lots of
mullet.
pansexual girls in Brooklyn who are fucking guys with mullets.
Yep.
They're listening to this program right now.
I don't know if it's a cautionary tale. I think not everyone with a wolf mullet is like. There's a lot of queer women with wolf mullets right now.
Yes, yeah.
You can't just throw the mullet out
That's
with the
true.
bathwater.
Yeah.
That's true.
They did nothing wrong.
Yeah, they did nothing wrong.
Did you miss the strap?
Wait, that's funny.
Perfect. That's great.
That's so funny.
You should have turned him around and asked.
Man.
No, not particularly, but we're going to find out if you feel that way. And he's like, this strap that I've never had before.
Exactly. The ubiquitous strap that you've never had before. Did you miss this strap? Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Jen.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you
Trip
for
down
your-
memory lane.
That's a nice one.
Thank you for doing this. Thank you for your time.
My pleasure.
We went a little long, so I appreciate that. I know you have a busy schedule. Is there anything you want to plug?
What do I want to plug? We have not really. I don't have anything that's like just TV schedules and stuff that's coming up, but I can't talk about anything now. So it's
Exciting stuff, though.
exciting stuff
exciting.
coming up.
Mostly
Yeah.
on the Food Network.
Mostly on the Food Network. So yeah, we have new seasons of everything coming up. What else? I have a new restaurant that's called Charming Gardener. So it's like you guys would love it. Lots of veggies. It's kind of like a new.
In Boston?
Yeah, it's in Boston. It's in High Street
Well, we're
Place.
going for Thanksgiving. We should try and.
Yeah, we should.
Are you?
Yeah,
You're coming
yeah.
up?
Yeah.
I might be gone, but reach out. Yeah, I'm in P-Town. I have a little place. Also, I have a little place in
Oh,
P-Town. You
fun.
should
Shut
come hang out.
the fuck up.
Yeah, best investment
Well,
I've ever made.
I was
in
going
my
to
life.
ask you
Amazing.
if we could be IRL friends before,
Yes,
but now
please.
the
Yes,
stakes
the answer is yes. Now the stakes are high. Exactly. Yes, 100%. Yes.
Oh my gosh, that's
yeah.
so fun.
That's
Yeah, how
really
long are you guys
cool.
in town for Thanksgiving?
Just a few days, just seeing my family and stuff. And
Gotcha.
I'm doing
10-year high school reunion.
Shut up.
I don't think she's gonna come, but I wouldn't put you through that.
I'd go, but I have to
Really?
do pre-Thanksgiving with my family.
Oh yeah, true. We'll
and
figure it out.
then,
So you do it here
yeah,
and then head up.
yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Indeed.
How are we feeling about the family stuff? Our families are all good?
Oh
Everyone's
my
cool?
God, our families are great.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Very accepting.
really fucking nice to hear.
It's
Yeah,
so nice.
yeah.
That's not always the case.
They
No,
love
I
Actually
know. I
lucky.
never
Yeah.
had a relationship like that until I met Jen's family, and
Yeah.
they feel like real family to me.
Awesome. Oh,
Yeah.
I love hearing that, you guys.
Yeah.
And my brother has a boyfriend, so they're
So your parents
they're
just kicked
all
out gay kids?
all
I
in.
love it.
Yes.
Do you just look at them and go, it's nature?
I don't know if I'm
And
allowed to
nurture.
share this story, but
Go for it. We can cut it if
was it your grandmother, your step grandma,
my grandma.
your grandma,
Yeah.
talking about some family with all the kids were gay and being like,
Yeah.
what are the odds?
you,
Not
you and your
knowing
brother
that
are like,
Jen-
Yeah.
pretty good.
And she's like losing her memory, so this is one of her like go-to stories.
Oh.
And she'll go, "My next door neighbor, she has 4 grandchildren, 2 of them gay. What are the odds?"
How do your parents take it?
They laugh. They think it's hilarious.
And
Yes, I love
her dad's stock reply is staggering.
I love it. Pretty fucking good,
Crazy.
Grams. Pretty good.
Yeah,
Odds are
good
good.
stuff.
It's a good rod.
Well, thank you.
Thanks
And
for having me. This
yeah,
is really, really
so
fun.
So fun.
Yeah,
So fun.
thanks for being flexible. Sorry
This
about
is a bucket list item for me.
Oh, that's really sweet.
So
that's very
I-
sweet.
It's been a while since I've had a guest like that. I think we've been kind of more comedy focused for a little bit.
Don't say that.
very cool. Wait, are you guys
Tell
in
the other
town Wednesday before Thanksgiving?
I think that's when we're
Yeah.
going.
No pressure, but we do this thing at Sweet Cheeks called Cheeksgiving. I've been doing it we'll be 13 next week. Like 10 years. We have in the Hope House. It's a halfway house. It's mostly men that are have just transitioned from incarceration into living in the real world. They're in a halfway house, and so we cook for them and cook Thanksgiving for them, and they come have like it's the most incredible
cool.
meeting about gratitude ever. So if you're around and you want to like scoop out some mashed potatoes with us and sit down and have dinner
Amazing.
with us after, we're around,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
let's
mean,
do it. Absolutely.
let's do it.
and you can take lots of leftovers home and
Fun.
Awesome.
be the heroes.
Thank you so
Oh
much.
my god, my pleasure. Love to have you guys.
So cool.
Wow.
Yay!
Thanks for listening, guys. Patreon.com/WHGS to help us finish our new set. We're really looking forward to that. Hopefully you guys are too. And a gay thought. Oh my goodness gracious. Can we cut in the gay thought from the other one? Sub it in?
Sure, if you'd
Great.
like. It's you doing a mind meld with Jen, and it
Great.
goes very
Sub that in.
poorly.
Sub
All
that
right,
in.
here we're
Time
gonna.
travel. Do you want to do a mind meld?
Do you have a word?
Mm-mm.
Great. It's not how you play, Ashley.
Please just be the first word for me. Please.
Pillow.
Case. I'm sorry.
Wait, that's not
What the
how you
fuck?
play.
What do you mean?
And then we have to meet in the middle?
Yes.
No, you're supposed to come up with a word specifically by yourself. Like a fully random. You can't listen to mine and then pick one that would be good.
I guess that's fair.
Okay.
Okay.
You say a word first because you're a cheater.
Okay.
I'm going to come up with
I'm not a
something.
cheater. I just misunderstood the rules. And I think sometimes we have good intentions and we do bad things.
That's what a cheater would say.
Yeah,
Oh
that
my
sounds
God.
like cheater language.
Okay. Sofa.
Antenna.
3,
No, wait, whoa.
2, 1. Television. Why didn't you say anything?
Oh my God.
What?
This is going nowhere fast.
I wasn't ready.
That's why you say 3, 2, 1.
Well, but I wasn't ready. I was panicking. Okay.
Okay.
Another one.
Cactus.
Microphone.
3, 2, 1. Stand.
Oh, no.
What?
What? Yeah, your guys' brains are fucking far apart. There's no
You're
meld.
having anxiety. You want to do it with Alex?
Yeah.
All right. Gun.
Sponge. Uh-oh.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Bullet holes. Buck?
What did you say? What did you say?
Okay.
Buck. You said buck?
What did you
Just
say?
I panicked, but I was going to say
But you understand how it's played now, right?
yes, but I'm just keep panicking because I can't think of anything.
I don't think Jen has a mind to meld with, is what we learned. I think it's hollow.
Hey,
My IQ is just really low.
the soundboard doesn't work. Guys, we're tired. Can you please just give us your fucking money? Like, look at what we're doing.
Help.
Patreon.com/WHGS. Listener, weight loss can be a tricky thing to talk about, let alone find solutions that feel positive and holistic. And that's why I wanted to talk about hers. Weight loss solutions are not one size fits all. Everyone deserves to have a weight loss plan that's tailored to their specific needs. So if you're struggling with losing weight and need some extra help, it's time for you to check out hers. Their holistic program gives you access to personalized solutions like GLP-1 weekly injections that have the same active ingredients as Ozempic and Wegovy and oral medication kits. Start your free online visit today at forhers.com/gay. That's forhers.com/gay for your personalized weight loss treatment options. That's forhers.com/gay. Hers weight loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded.